Hello guys and welcome to round 8 from the European Championships. Today we have Robert once again playing Targ Kraken, and he's up against Evan playing Targ Fealty. I had the pleasure of playing Evan I think in round 4 and got my backside absolutely handed to me. But he is a lovely chap to play against. And the two chaps just here deciding on their setups. So we have a Victarion and a Jura against Littlefinger, Viserion, Viserys, and a Rose Road. So you'd say probably a slightly better start for Evan, without seeing their hands. Although Victarion early on can put a lot of pressure on. Especially if you see Plaza of Pride, so you can stand him twice. So stand him, so not twice, so you can do 2 challenges, get 2 renown on him, makes him harder to kill, 2 lots of intimidate is always really good.
I think so, yeah. If they possess well. Best of 17.
And we have counting coppers into Time of Plenty, so Evan's about to draw 6 cards. So Evan has chosen for Robert to go first. That's an interesting choice with an Intimidate character. That's probably maybe one of the few times you want them to go second on the first turn. Not 100% sure. Or maybe Evan is going first, sorry. No, it's Robert, sorry. He was just checking how much gold Evan had. So we have a dupe for Victarion. We have a Targ Loyalist played out. Lots of 1 gold things by the looks of how Robert's dividing up his gold. 1 more gold spent for a Slaver's Bay. Or 2 gold, sorry, which then gets on 1 back. Or 1 gold spent for an Iron Mines.
Good name.
That's with the German or Austrian version because it's called Eisenminen. Probably saying that completely wrong. And we have this Viserion on both sides. So 1 gold left. So Jakaris is a threat. Fealty is knelt, and 1 gold is spent for Slaver's Bay, which is then knelt to get the gold back. Such a good card. I so underestimated that. Evan's having a bit of a think. We have 2 gold spent on a Jura, so the 2 boards are looking pretty similar right now. And the thing with these mirror matches, one of the reasons I'm not a massive fan of mirror matches is you do end up with similar looking boards. And it can just you know, can come down to who sees the right characters first, and you just end up in, you know, obviously because you win, the attacker wins ties, it just becomes a bit more attacker based game. I don't find it quite as fun. So I think this is an intrigue. Evan's weighing up his options when he wants to defend. And here comes the Jacaris. And looks like it's been hand judgmented, so interesting. That takes the Jacaris threat out of Robert, so you can't bait the Jacaris anymore. But that does give him a good card pool. And we have a Ratchet's Raiders taken for claim. Betrayal taken. And Renowned on Jura. So Robert takes a quick 2-0 lead. Quick, call the game. So imagine now this would be a military. If Jura defends, then you can still intimidate Viserys. If Jura doesn't defend, then you can choose to intimidate Jura if you wanted to. Or maybe Littlefinger. So Jura chooses to defend. So he's going to take the Dragon's Claim. So Robert accidentally took Unopposed Power, but obviously Jura defended. Now you might as well do a cheeky, you might as well do a cheeky power challenge with the Targ Loyalist, which then goes go unopposed. So Rob up to 4 power now. Fairly good start. We'll see if Evan prefers to try and get power back or goes for the card draw. I think you almost might as well do the power, I guess. Then he wins Dom anyway, so you get 2 power, which does unopposed, he loses unopposed intrigue, he loses Dom. But then you might also want to get that hand down because you think Valor's coming at some point. And it's going to be a power challenge. So indeed he wants to win Dom and try and take a power off. So base comes down to how fast Rob wants to accelerate the game here, because if he lets this go unopposed, he'll still end up on 4 power and Evan be on 2. If he blocks this, he'll be on 3 power and Evan be on 2 by the end of the turn. So it depends how fast you want this game to accelerate. What tempo you want this to be at. And it looks like he's going to defend. Oh, maybe not. Oh, sorry. Unopposed, okay. So he's going for the acceleration. So that is 2 power there for Evan. Oh, and we have the gold spent to bring back Viserys with Fire and Blood. Viserion, sorry. So Rob, you'd imagine will defend this. Let the Targ Loyalist die. And he does indeed. Dom is a tie, and we're currently sitting at 3 power to Rob and 2 power to Evan. Obviously, one of Rob's power is on Jura, so that it has got a limited lifespan. And we have Battle Blackwater Bay into Counting Coppers, so the dupe on Victorian will be disappearing. Okay, on to the second plot phase. Oh, sorry, I've done the second plots. Do apologise, guys. I had a little phone call in the middle there, so I had to pause the recording. So we're on to we've got the plots. So I'm assuming Evan has chosen Rob to go first, and it looks like Rob is drawn into a Daenerys Targaryen. So as long as he can get off the and Rob indeed is going first. Won't be able to get her out this turn, unfortunately. Not enough gold. But with the Iron Mines out, you can get one more power on Victorian, then you should be quite safe. So 1 gold is spent for Great Hall. And Nilton 1 gold. So Maester Windermere. Interesting. And another gold spent. So we have 2 Iron Mines out. Great. So Valor. So Rob is now pretty Valor proof. So Evan gets 6 gold. Thanks to the needing of the Slaver's Bay. Using Fealty and 1 gold for another Slaver's Bay, so he gets the gold back. That Econ engine is just so good. We have an Isle of Ravens played out. So you don't know what that one does. With Isle of Ravens, you can choose a player, put 1 card from their discard pile into their deck, shuffle the deck. Quite good if you want to try and to stop someone from stacking the deck, like Tyrell with Bear the Maiden Fair. You can then just add a card in and screws up what they've done. The other thing I've done sometimes is put a dead character back in the deck. Normally any of them know they can't bring a character back to life. Just trying to reduce the useful draw they'll get. But the most common cause, obviously, is to put Jakaris and stuff like Fire and Blood back into your deck. And I believe that's how Richard Walker on the White Walkers channel wants Jakaris Gabby 5 times. So we have a Crone of Dothraki now. Or Dothraki Crone, is it? And you can sit on 3 gold. So obviously both of them are obviously aware that Valor is the thing. And Evan isn't saying using either ends before he forgets to put in, I believe that was Jakaris. So interesting turn here for Rob. I think you probably want to try and get the extra power onto Victorian. You can basically guarantee that by doing a military with both Victorian and Sejura. But that seems a bit much and leaves you quite open to attacks back. And Sejura can be taken as military claim because at that point you're probably. I'd be surprised if Rob wasn't thinking about valoring next turn. There's 5 characters on the board. 2 of them are pretty good. One of them is an annoyance, but you probably want to get rid of him before. Well, I'm saying that's Targ. There's probably attachments aren't a thing except for the Crown of Gold. So yeah, at 3 gold though must be a bit worrying. I'm trying to think now. What's the ambush cost of Quay for the Shadows? So I believe we've had an intrigue put in. I was trying to hear to what the chaps were saying, but unfortunately the volume's quite low because of the speakers in the background. Anyone has banned a second day, the Netrunner players. Or not Netrunner players, sorry, Netrunner organiser. So Evan's going full in here on the defence. So Evan wins the challenge. Puts a renowned and betrayal marker on Jura. So that's probably quite an interesting play here, because that means Victarion is probably free now to do the military. And you don't have to necessarily worry about Chikaris. Because that would involve a big card combo to get to for him to be Chikaris. Power Stealth and the Dragon. I think we're about to get another... Oh, no. Okay, we're about to get... a Dragon is no slave, so that goes... That challenge fizzles as Waste Minimir goes to 0 strength. That card is so brutally wrong. It's how easy to get back into your deck as well. Just win a challenge with a dragon. So, what? I think he wants to kneel out Littlefinger, so I think that's why this is going to be... I think that's why he's thinking about going in for military 7. No, he's really not sure about it, but I think that's the plan. I think he wants to kneel out Littlefinger. Whereas if the dragon defends now, he can't kneel out Littlefinger. Personally, it was me. I'd think I'd actually want to kneel out the dragon. So I'm going to use Dragon is no slave. Oh, we've got a big defense here as Waking the Dragon is used to stand Jura, which will give him renown and bring him back. At the end of the turn, he's going to come back to the hand, and that stops Victarion from getting another renown. So that's quite a big play. There's power played on power for 1, which is fully opposed, and the intrigue comes in unopposed. And we have Daenerys Targaryen taking his claim. And Lisa Jorah comes back to hand. Dominance goes to Evan. And we are sitting at 4-3, sorry, to Evan. And discards a Chrono Dust for Dothraki as claim. Not claim, so reserve. Now that could well put Rob off the idea of a Valor this turn. I don't know if Evan... Would you Valor yet, Evan, at this point? You've got a lot of economy set up. If you Valor now, you're going to have 7 gold and Fealty. That's not bad to repopulate your board. The only issue is obviously there will be 2 characters left on the other side. At least. Well, maybe not at least. You would think 2 characters on the other side. We have... what's it? The Long Winter into... Summer Harvest. So Evan getting a nice 2-claim plot there. Doesn't have to lose a power because... so Evan has to lose power, but Rob doesn't because he played a summer plot. I believe it's Rob's choice on who goes first. Rob's going to get a nice 6 gold here. So his board state shouldn't be too bad. Looks like Evan is going first. Getting 6 gold. He'll be 7-8 in second once the... Do you let him go first? Yeah, I think you probably do want to go first with 2 claim. Yep, and Evan, indeed, Rob has chosen Evan to go first. Evan loses a power. I say Rob doesn't have to because he's played a summer plot, and we're on to marshalling. So Evan has 6 gold, he'll be 7-8 in a second. Not bad for 4, and he's got another Rose Road. Got Deep and Viserion. Fealty is knelt. Fealty is unknelt. And we have... So we have a Targ Loyalist put into play. Fealty is knelt. Looks like this is going to be Khal Drogo. Indeed it is. So I think this turn Rob will be looking to Valor. And Jorah's back out. Yeah, I think if you're Rob, you've got to look at Valoring this turn for next turn, because Khal Drogo's Khal Drogo, there's 2 militaries, is going to be pretty devastating to your board state. And as you see, got 2 iron mines, but really don't want to be using them for that. You want to be using them on the Valor turn. So Rob has 6 gold, can reduce the first unique character by 1 or 2 of their 6 cost or higher, and also has can get 1 gold from Slaver's Bay. So his economy is pretty good, not quite as good as Evan's. Evan still, Rob was pointing out, Evan still has 1 gold left, so Jakaris is still on the menu. And indeed, Slaver's Bay is now to get another gold. Ooh. So the Great Hall's knelt. Looks like a lot of money. And we have Daenerys Targaryen with a dupe. So even after the 1 dupe was taken, he still had another 2 copies there. And another Slaver's Bay is paid out. And 1 gold. So yeah, I think this turn... I'd be massively surprised if there's not a Valor that's after this turn. Rob is just in such a strong position to Valor. He can even, as long as he gets 1 more renowned on Victarion, he's looking pretty good to me. Then you can lose the 2 power of Victarion and the dupe off Dany, leave the 2 iron mines, and then you don't have to worry about being valored back at any point. Which I think now Danny currently has stealth because of Viserion. And also, obviously, Evan's only going to have one dragon left, so that intrigue is unopposed. How many cards? Rob's hand is getting pretty small. Oh, of course, it's 2 claim. So that's not great. Going to have 2 cards, but he can get one more back with Danny if she wins the challenge she's involved in. Although you probably want to leave her standing for now. Try and help against these intrigues, these military challenges about to start peppering the board. So we have a power coming in from Littlefinger, which goes unopposed. Only 1 claim, and 1 for the unopposed. So Evan now up to 6 power, so he's definitely got the power advantage in this game, currently winning 6-2. But even with that board presence, he's still got to worry of his. He hasn't got many cards in hand either now. He's only got 2. So this looks like the first military. Now, do you bite his hand off? So, barring that being Waking the Dragon and a Jakaris. 2. You're safe from Jakaris, so you almost might as well. It's a tough one. Do you just defend with? Do you just choose to defend with Victorian, assuming you can win the challenge? I mean, if he's got Waking the Dragon and Jakaris, it's almost a fair enough at that point. But you do really need that renowned on Victorian to keep him alive. It looks like he's going to overcommit. He is guaranteeing he wins this military. Going for the better safe than sorry approach. He's going to lose this military. There's not much he can do about that. And Jorah's going to defend. Then I would assume, let's say, yeah, Jorah and... I would assume Jorah and the Dragon will be taken as claim. I think he's only taken claim 1 so far. Is he just checking what he kills before his second claim? Oh, okay, that's interesting. So he's going to take he's taking the power of Victorian. So he's putting himself down to no power. I'm not 100% sure I would have gone with that. I might have killed the dragon myself. That, to me, means he's probably not going to be Valoring next turn. So, Robert's having a think here. I think personally I'll be doing a power challenge with Maester Windermere, stealthing Khal Drogo in case there is a Waking the Dragon. Because Viserys can't defend because he's -1 strength. And then do an intrigue. But he's going to do the intrigue first. Okay, probably going for the let's try and destroy the hand. Let's see what's in here. So, get the power for the unopposed. And we have another copy of Viserys, sorry. And we have Insight, drawing another card. Didn't quite see what that is. Then he's going to do the power. And he's doing power stealthing Viserys. Sorry. So I believe Rob is now up to 3 power. Evan's currently sitting at 7 power, having 1 dom. And we're on to the next plot phase, and I'm going to be shocked this is not Valor at this point. 1 card in hand, 1 card in Evan's hand. There'll be 1 character left alive. it almost seems daft not to Valor at this point. You're going to have 2 characters left. Counting coppers into Valor. So that's why I'm even more surprised than he chose not to keep the power on Viserys. Victarion, sorry. I think I would have killed the dragon. He's going to die anyway, and that would have left 9 mines. Left 9 mines, or left the 2 power on him, so later on I could protect Victarion with... okay, so it looks like Evan's gone first. So... Viserys gets to save. Unless, of course, now do you think about it, unless he's got a Risen in hand. No, he's going to use the Iron Mines. Okay, or is he? I think you've only got to use 1 Iron Mine. You need that other Iron Mine, surely. Okay, yeah, he is. So, I mean, obviously, look, these are 2 top players. I'm not criticising, as in, I'm not saying, oh, he's an absolute idiot. What's he done? I'm just literally saying, I think it was me. You've got to... I think you wanted to keep that second Iron Mines because Evan's got to be running Valor. What's interesting here, Evan's put the Targ list on top of his deck rather than Khal Drogo. So he's obviously assuming that there's going to be no Ghost of Harrenhal. Because if I saw that as your opponent, I'd be there thinking, right, Ghost of Harrenhal's got to be playing. Look at all that gold. Counting coppers, and he's on 8 gold and has still got Fealty. Evan's already knelt his Rob's already knelt his to Slaver's Bay as well. So he's already got 4 gold. He's going to have 6 gold in the second, plus the Grey Hall. So let's see what Evan can do. But yeah, so I did have a comment in one of the videos about some comments I make, and I'm just making observations. You know, it's different when you're playing the game to watching it back as commentary. You know, I can kind of see what's in Evan's hand occasionally, so I can, you know, I have more information than Rob does. But you know, there's just sometimes where I think, you know, I just want to put my 2 cents in, and I think that I would have just killed the dragon knowing I was going to Valor next turn. Because the risk there would have been the double Valor. I don't think Evan would have double Valored, but if you had hit a double Valor, you now can't save Victarion again. And Valor, and you got to think Valor is going to come back the other way. So unless Plaza or Pride's in hand, so you can get 2 renowned on Victarion, I would have liked to have kept that 2 pound Victarion myself. Right, so we have Plaza Pride and Rhaegar played out, and it's going to sit on 5 gold.
2 more gold.
So 6 gold. So we have a Targ Loyalist and the Great Hall Note to bring out Illyrio. So he obviously plays more than 1 copy of Illyrio, which is interesting because not all Targ decks actually do. And you can sit there with 3 cards in hand. So there's no dragons, there's no Jakara threat from Rob, and obviously there's a massive Jakara threat from Evan. With 5 gold, and you think Dragon is no slave has got to be an option as well. What are you thinking is, Evan? Do you even bother doing challenges? Do you see the dragon standing to go come at me, do some challenges, I dare you? So he's going to do, I think that's the intrigue. Probably trying to get down into nil. Maybe. Oh no, it sounds like that was a military. Oh no, it was intrigue. I did hear right.
I assume you were thinking many reasons you were handling that guy. Yes, yes. Not,
So do you risk kneeling? So you got to assume. So if you kneel, Illyria to defend, I reckon you'll see Dragon's No Slave played. So that'll be that he'll win the challenge, 2-2 at that point. So he's letting it on the page. He's paying a gold to get Dragon's No Slave back. Such a stupidly good card. And Seabitch is taking his claim. Interesting he didn't play that out. He could have still the Plaza of Pride. Or the Isle of Ravens. That could have been quite a good little payout for, considering he's sitting on 2 gold. And I'm pretty sure after watching, I think 3 or 4 of Rob's games now, he does not run Dragon is No Slave. So that could have been the use. I know he probably wants to stand Victorian. So power coming in for 2. You now know that there's the option of Dragon is No Slave. So it would be a 3-card combo here to kill Victorian. And would leave Evan with only 1 character on the board. I think you're pretty safe. Evan's probably thinking about Valoring next turn. He's working out his gold. Actually, can he afford to? Because he's only got 2 cards in hand. He can't, has he got 2 or 3 cards in hand? He can't have many characters in there. We know one of them is Dragon is No Slave. So he's going to let the power go unopposed. Interesting. Evan's up to 9 power. I think about a Plaza Pride stand at some point. Oh, it's not. Sorry, I do tell a lie, guys. It's not a 3-card combo because obviously Plaza Pride could stand a dragon. But the thing is, if he was to do that combination and kill Victorian, he's just completely spent his hand to do it. So I think I'd take that trade. I think I'd do military with Victorian, then do power Victorian, and then do an intrigue with Danny. I think you'll do it. If Evan really wants to go down to no cards in hand, to stand a dragon, to Jakaris and to Dragon is No Slave it, I would take those odds. Okay, no defenders, I think he said. So yep, so you got unopposed. And renowned. You need to remember that renowned because that's what's going to keep him alive. Spends 2 gold to stand him. Intrigue. So spending... No, thinks about it again. Again, I think you got to do... I don't ever do the intrigue of Danny. Although it gives you a card draw, that probably is worth losing your hand to kill Danny, maybe? I don't know. Either way, I think I would do... Oh, so you got power of Danny and Victorian. So power here for 10? And that goes unopposed, renowned, and insight. So, Rob getting the power back up to 6 power. So basically now Dom's going to be a tie if he does the intrigue. So the intrigue, so yep, going to be tie Dom. So we're currently sitting at 9 power to Evan and 6 power to Rob. Rob is now safe from Avala because he can save both Danny and Victorian. So that's that threat out the way. We have Fire and Blood into barring the gates. So the Targ loyalist is going to get killed.
He goes straight away. He doesn't come. That's not.
So Bar in the Gates is going to stop any shenanigans with Fire and Blood. Just maybe worried about. Oh, I think that might be a Fire and Blood in hand actually. Bar in the Gates is I absolutely love Bar in the Gates as a plot. Wasn't really sure about it when it first came out, but having used it, it's one of the linchpin cards in my Stark deck. Great against Ghost of Harrenhal decks. And Harrenhal decks. In fact, Lanny decks just absolutely hate it because they have so much jump attack, and you just go, nope, can't do it, mate. Not bad against Martell either. Now I think about it, it stops Ariane from triggering. So Evan's going first, just picking up his gold. He gets 4 gold from the plot and from his 2 road raids. Uses the 2 Slaver's Bay to get another 4 gold, and Rob uses his ones at the same time because there is an action. So especially playing against Greyjoy players, and they've got the Lordsport Shipwright. Always worth just remembering that if they're going first, once they play an action, also like kneel something or put a character into play, it's worth using your Slaver's Base to get the money from them. So Illyrio's estate was almost knelt. So Fealty is knelt, Illyrio's estate, and 7 gold for his own Danny. And 3 gold left. So this is going to be really careful, because on a Fire and Blood turn, that's when Dragon's New Slave becomes far more deadly. So for instance, if Illyrio is to go into a challenge right now, he'd be strength 3, strength 2 because Danny's standing, Dragon is no Slave would put him down to strength 0, he would be dead. Crown of Gold on Danny. Oh! Using his own Fire and Blood to kill Danny. Oh, that is harsh. But when I played Evan, he pretty much did me in on turn 1 with a Crown of Gold on Jory, and then just allowed him to Valor. So I don't feel too bad about that. About laughing. Sorry, Evan, if you are watching. That was hilarious. That was awesome. And I just said, Diego, watch out, Danny around there. That does better. What? Not anymore. She is being Crown of Golded. Oh, Rob kept quite a good poker face there. I'm just thinking how bonkers this is. 5 gold plot. He's put out Crown of Gold and Khal Drogo, and he still has 2 gold left. Targ economy is just crazy right now. So Evan is passing the challenges. So this could be brutal. This could maybe not, but the potential 2 militaries wiping Evan's board. So assumably this is the intrigue. Or was this guy? Actually, it could be power actually. See, there's the fire is no blood, hands judgment. Can't see what else is in there. So just does not seem to be drawing into the characters. This is really hurting him now. It's unopposed. So it looks like Evan's just trying to scrap on now. And we get a hand's judgment removed. Probably one of the few cards in there he didn't want removed from his hand. It's got to be the worry with 2 dragons out. I think that was a military. It's going to send 2 gold to give him dragon as no slave, but reducing him to strength 2. So that is fully defended. Slightly confusing there. Rob thought he'd won the challenge. But Evan wins by 1. He's going to spend a gold to bring back Fire and Blood. Can't see as much as we're doing against this military though. So military coming in from Khal Drogo. You could discard a card to stand a dragon, stop it from being unopposed, and then kill that dragon. But so he's going to stand him up with dragon as no slave. So it's opposed. Probably just trying to slow down the power at this point. Takes him for claim. So and then we're going to have an unopposed power challenge. So Rob has got up to 10 power, sorry, and Evan's currently at 8 power. Dom goes to Rob, so he's actually up to 11 power. So it's 11 to 7, 11 to 8, sorry. And you've got to think that at the moment, Rob is in the dominant position. He's got Daenerys giving him card draw. He's got the ability to stand people with Illyrio. He's got Khal Drogo and Victarion. Evan's looking on the ropes here. I'm pretty sure during that last round there was a sort of 9-minute warning for the round. So we have Valor into Blackwater Bay. Probably playing Blackwater Bay because it's his only option at this moment. Evan's probably Valoring because he I think he's basically lost his turn if he doesn't Valor. So it gives Rob an interesting choice. Assuming if you're Rob, you let Evan go first because you have 0 claim. You kill Khal, you let Khal Drogo die and Illyrio die. Then you use the 2 power to save Victarion. So Victarion is currently, he's wasted 4 power. I say wasted. He's used 4 power to keep himself alive in this game. And that has also put Rob back down to only 8 power. So it's now back to 8 all. It does look like Rob can play out some characters this turn. So Evan's probably still a little bit of a rough spot. Oh, okay, Rob's chosen to go first. So Rob has got up to 8 gold. I guess he's kind of figuring that there's no claim, so he can just do what he wants, and then if Evan wants to come back at him, he's more than welcome to. 2 Great Halls now. And Looks like a fair amount of gold spent. For Asher. There's 3 gold spent for Asher. Asher obviously loves a small board, as we've discussed in previous videos. And Drogon is out. And 1 more gold. For Viserys money. So that board presence goes got pretty wide. Ooh. Oh, so you, yeah, is this Miri? Oh. House of the Undying. So, Rob thought the Crown of Gold was coming, which actually I thought it was as well, and I got the little O. So, Crown of Gold Asher. This is an interesting point. So, Rob's pointing out that they need to check dead piles. Because obviously, even if you can't bring a character out of the opponent's dead pile if they're in your dead pile. So obviously, Evan's saying he doesn't have a choice; he's got to do it. So there's going to be no Khal Drogo. Sure, yeah.
Littlefinger you don't have in there. Viserys you don't have in a Crone, irrelevant to regular Viserion.
So it gives him a Mace to Illyrio, a Windermere,
That's all. Yeah. That's what you get.
Targ Loyalist.
Just leave it there for now. Yeah. I can order them afterwards. It's not gonna matter because last round. Now we have
So this is the last round. Time has been called. So on to Robert's challenges. 2 gold left. So the other thing here is obviously Mace of Illyrio can stand, but obviously this is still a valid turn, so actually, you wait till Asher goes in for a challenge, and then you do the House of the Undying, stop her from standing. There's no military icons anyway. So you're doing power from Victorian. I think he's done the maths here. So basically, even if Evan pops the House of the Undying, he can only defend 4 or 5. So a Victorian would still win the challenge. So there's a Jakaris in hand. Has he got fire and blood? Fire and blood? He's just going to oppose. He's not going to Jakaris. Makes sense. He wouldn't stop the challenge anyway. So Victorian wins by 4, but there's nothing to nil. Gets the power for the winner of the challenge. And Renowned. Has he not taken the Renowned?
Who can't? Who can't speak? I think we just like too much to know.
So it looks like he probably did have an action there. So maybe he's thinking about Jakarising the dragon with Danny. So military. Miri is going to be stood to stand the dragon.
That was my only other play, and that was kind of pointless.
And here comes a Jakaris. And Asher is dead. Which is actually going to bring her into the dead pile to bring her back for... Very well played there by Evan. So, House of the Undying is triggered. It would be quite funny if after all of that, Rob had a Nightmares. And had stopped it. So currently Rob's on 10 power, Evan's on 7. Evan has no claim though, so the only thing he's looking for is unopposed. So we have an intrigue coming in from
7 power? Yeah. 100%. Oh, that might have been.
so Danny defends that and gets a Renown. So now Rob's only 4 power if winning. So military's going to be unopposed.
Military.
She gets Jakaris back to hand. Oh, we went to dead pile, sorry. So that just stops the unopposed power. Nice, he's missing the goal there to stop the Jakaris, and that is it. So Rob has won the round, and that is a mod win for Rob, who is still undefeated. And come back next time to see if we can continue that.